What is going on, guys? Today we're hanging out with John Walker from Emerald Luxury Coaches. How you doing today,
Good,
sir?
Andrew. How are you?
Excellent,
Good
thank
to see you.
Likewise, always an honor to hang out with you and learn more about Emerald Luxury Coaches. But one of the common questions I've been getting from folks out there is, who is buying these super expensive Prevost Emerald Luxury Coaches?
Well, you know, Andrew, all kinds of folks. We have a unique group of customers that buy Emerald, and when we were in California the other day, we got to spend some time with some of the customers that have Emeralds, and you guys met Daryl and Maggie, and they spent a little time with you, and that's the kind of customers we build for. Guys that are passionate about their coaches, love the lifestyle, and that's who we try to sell them to.
I know you're very humble, and it's hard to get you to brag about how amazing your product is, but I think we're going to really tell a story by asking some Emerald owners some hard questions. And I think Daryl and Maggie have owned their coach for some time, so
yeah, that'd be a great one to ask. They've owned a coach a long time. They spend a lot of time in it. They travel all over the country, and that'd be a great one to do.
So we're here with Daryl and Maggie, some of the Emerald owners here at MCC. How long have you been Emerald owners for?
Just about 8 years, 2017. Wow. Time goes by quickly.
And what made you choose the Emerald coach over other coaches out there?
Well, I've been wanting a Prevost forever, and when we got here, we rented in 15, and John was out front with a 2015 X3, which we prefer over the H. Anyway, met John, just a wonderful guy. And right away, I thought he was just a salesman. He was like, no, I own the company. I said, oh, that's great. I mean, how often do you get to talk to the owner? And he was showing the coach. And then I went back to her, and of course, she was a big no all the time because of the money. But the 16 rolled in the next season, and I said, honey, this is it. And long story short, she said no again, but we got an Essex that was nothing but problems. And then she said, call John Walker. So that's how we ended up with an Emerald.
Yeah, very cool. And I know, at this level, there's a lot of different Prevost converters and other options at this level. Was there stuff that you liked about the Emerald versus the other converters? Or
yeah.
I loved the kind of simple elegance of the design. You get all the benefits of a Prevost that's going to run forever and be a solid build. And honestly, John had so much commitment to his customers. He stood out as an entrepreneur who cared deeply about every piece of the inside, every little thing that he had done just across the board. The commitment was just unbeatable.
And he does conservative interiors, unlike a lot of the other converters do the Vegas carry-out cabinets, and we're just not into all that. So
yeah.
I agree.
Simple elegance.
Design. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know before you buy the coach, of course, you get sold on the whole dream of it, but you've actually been using the coach now for several years. How has it been over 7 or 8 years now, did you say?
Almost 8 even, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been great. We've been north, south, east, west. We've been traveling with friends, and of course we love staying here over the winter season. We love it as our home away from home, even when it's standing still.
Yeah, how many miles have you put on it?
Well, it was a show coach for a couple years. So I think it had 12,000 miles or 15,000. We got 60 on it now.
Okay, so you haven't overused it, but still putting some miles in it. Yeah. And about how many months of the year are you using the coach?
Of course, it's here for about 5 months. And then the summer, we got on a month-long trip. Last summer, we took a month to go to the rally, the Prevost rally in Ontario. So, yeah, I would say 6 to 8 months out of the year.
So you're using it?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
John loves hearing owners' feedback. Is there anything, and of course you've seen the newer Emeralds and they're always improving, but is there any improvements or suggestions that you have for John and the team at Emerald that you think they could be doing better?
You're talking my wife into building a new one?
John's been amazing
Yeah.
as we've asked them to enhance our coach just in minor ways, unique needs for storage. He's showed us that some of the coaches he's building now, he's accommodated some of those requests. I tell you.
It was simple things like more drawers in the bedroom instead of cabinets.
Yeah, when we come for 5 months.
Yeah, that's because of you, Daryl. I said, okay, good. So we told him all those little things along the way for sure. And he takes it to heart. He listens to all the owners, and it's just that's not us. If somebody buys a used Emerald, he is like, you bought it new. So that's very cool.
Yeah, I have heard that over and over, and there's quite a few more emeralds showing up here at MCC. Have you gotten to meet a lot of the other emerald owners here? Or?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we always say hi just right around this corner. I don't know if he showed you, but we were saying we should get a sign that says Emerald Isle here because we're right on the water and there's emeralds all around. But we're kind of proud that we were one of the early owners. In fact, Lyle and Joan over there came over when we first bought ours and ended up moving from
A King Air.
Yeah, it was a King Air to an emerald.
Yeah.
But John, what Daryl was saying, a lot of people talk about the family when they run a business. John means it. Yeah. I mean, he really treats us like we're family, even as the number of emerald owners has expanded. If we need something, he answers his phone 24/7. Amazing.
Yeah. He had about 10 owners at the 100th Prevost rally. And it was everybody you could tell was kidding with him. He was kidding back. And I said, yeah, I've known John since 2017. I've been a pain in his butt ever since.
That's how he introduced himself. He means it too.
Yeah. And John went right when he goes, yeah, that's pretty much true. But we've given him plenty of feedback, both negative and positive. So, and you ask John about me and Maggie, he'll tell you, it's like, yeah, they get upset sometimes, but he appreciates it because it's good, positive feedback.
Absolutely.
And he doesn't get mad about it. John is just a professional through and through.
What I like about the way he takes feedback, and it's not usually something to get mad about, but he doesn't just take feedback on emerald aspects. When we've been dealing with Prevost, if you let him know that you're going in and you're going to get something looked at, he calls ahead. He wants to make sure there's good connection between him as the converter and his organization and the folks that are addressing some concern. And, you don't drive as many miles as we have and own an RV for years and years without a few little bumps along the way, but he helps smooth it over even with Prevost. It's not that's a Prevost issue.
No, he jumps right in. In fact, I didn't know it at the time. This was years ago, but dealing with Prevost, and he found out indirectly and goes, Daryl, call me.
He was almost
intervene.
mad.
Yeah, I will help you out or whatever. Even if it's just chassis stuff, which is not him, right? So.
Well, and your coach is a few years old now, so, I understand being under warranty, but as your coach has aged, you're still receiving the same level of customer service?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. There's this is 8 years old and I'm on to the new shiny things. No, he's right in there. He's going to take a look at something after you finish up here.
Yeah.
Just a question.
Even Prevost, that one large panel between on the side was defective and they covered to replace it.
Well after warranty.
So even though it shouldn't have been covered under warranty, they went above and beyond and took care of it?
They took care of it.
Yeah, everybody's been great. We feel very fortunate.
I've actually heard that from other emerald owners as well, so great to hear that that's consistent throughout.
Yeah, for sure.
So overall, rating your emerald experience over the last 7 or 8 years, any final thoughts on it?
No, just a 0 to 10, a 10 for sure.
No regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And a lot of folks out there on YouTube that are watching are maybe thinking about getting into the RV lifestyle. And I'm sure you have a lot of wisdom in your years of owning a motor coach. Is there any advice that you have for someone that's maybe thinking about getting into the RV lifestyle?
Absolutely. Don't make the mistake I made is buying whatever brand. If you can afford like $500,000, look for a used Prevost. You're not going to go wrong. The Prevosts definitely hold their value, as you well know, because you're in it.
Absolutely.
And the service is unbeatable.
I know Emerald values have really held it because it's such a simple build and just less stuff that can break, it seems like.
Yeah, when you talk about the RV lifestyle, before we were here, we were up in Tiger Run in Breckenridge, Colorado, and we don't have as many miles as you might have expected because we were still working and raising kids, but we would just buzz up to Breckenridge. So we've had the opportunity to meet people from all over and everybody's just having fun. And we heard this expression. I don't know if you've heard it in all of your interviews, whether it's Motor Coach Country Club or the RV lifestyle. adds life to your years and years to your life, because you're out, you're active, you're social, and just adventuring. So I would encourage people to give it a try.
Yeah, we always enjoy coming hanging out here at Motor Coach Country Club, the camaraderie and the owners. And I mean, it seems like everyone here is really living life to the fullest and busy and doing fun stuff and making cool memories.
One thing I would add is when we go out here in 2016, we decided, so it's our 8th season, we just thought it was a good place to come, winter over, get out of the snow. But what we later learned was the community is much more important. So we got some great friends here. And every year, like, when are you getting there? When are you leaving? Come over here. We're always doing get-together things, pickleball, golf, whatever, swimming, and just the ladies group play cards all the time and stuff like that. So it's not just about buying a place and getting the asset of a real estate holding. It's the community, like she hinted at.
Yeah, all about the lifestyle. It's always refreshing to come hang out with folks like yourself here at Motor Coach Country Club. You can really just, feel the good vibes here. So
yeah, for sure.
Really appreciate you sharing that with us. I know you got a lot going on this afternoon, so I really appreciate you taking the time to share that with us.
Appreciate your coming out, and hopefully we'll see you around soon.
Sounds great. Thanks again.
Thank you, Andrew.
My pleasure. John, always amazing to hang out and hear from the Emerald owners, their feedback on your product. And we've also been here, I was just talking with Jason and Derek, other Emerald owners. You've got an incredible following. Now, what are you doing that is building such brand loyalty? Or what is it about Emerald that folks are just loving it so much?
I don't know. I think lots of different things. Like I said, I'm not good at bragging about myself, but I will brag about my customers. I got the best customers in the industry. So I think one thing I see is the customer that buys the Emerald is extremely passionate about the product. They spend a lot of time on the product, learning the product. Some of these guys know the product better than me. I mean, they really do study it. So you take Jason Dixon, he's a great customer, and he knows a ton about coaches. Like, he is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to coaches. He's studied them, been around it his whole life from when his granddad, traveled in a Prevost all the way to today. So he's had a lifetime experience of it. So I'm way behind the curve. So, that's a great example of why I think that customer comes to us, is because we are passionate about building big machines. They love the machines we build. So Jason's a great example.
Well, and I learned so much. I just learned something new from Jason this evening, actually, about the e-mirrors. So he actually just took delivery of that 100th anniversary 9660 that we filmed in Dallas earlier this year or last year?
Last year in July, right before the birthday.
Wow, almost a year ago.
Yeah,
it's crazy how
beautiful
time flies.
coach, man. He did the blackout package on it and just brought it to life.
Yes, stunning. Yes. One of my favorite all-time Emeralds. But he was telling me that when he's going down the highway with the e-mirrors, that he actually puts his blind down all the way.
Yeah.
And I can relate to that, because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten sunburned on my left arm from just driving all day with that sun beating down.
Yeah.
So, this new technology, it's cool to hear the owners' feedback at the different ways the technology has changed their experience.
Absolutely, because like he said, he puts the blinds down like he's in a cocoon. The coach is just handling well, and he uses the e-mirrors, and he's not bothered by people trying to look in the windows and stuff. So he feels safer doing it, and the technology's there to do it. So it's amazing how these guys find ways to use them that we would never even think about. So yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've built an incredible reputation with your Emerald owners out there, and we really appreciate the opportunity. And a huge thanks to Daryl and Maggie for sharing that time and that information with us, and Jason and all the wonderful Emerald owners out there. And I'm hoping we can interview more Emerald owners.
I think we'll get more. Yeah, for sure. We'll find them. They're out there. And thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it, because without our customers, we're nothing. We have to have them, and they've done us a great job, and they've made the Emerald a better product all the way around.
Yeah, absolutely. You've built a great Emerald family, and we're really honored to be able to capture some of these coaches and stories in our videos. And if you folks haven't already seen, we just filmed an in-depth video on this 2025 X3 double slide. I believe this coach is currently available.
Yes, sir.
And then I don't know if we're gonna have time. We're gonna try to do a video on that H3 double slide. We recently filmed an H3 quad slide while we were out in California.
Yes,
so you've been building some amazing product, and we really appreciate the opportunity to see the product that you're delivering to the owners.
You can find out more information on our coaches at emeraldluxurycoaches.com. So just check out the website, give us a call, and we'll get you any information you need, or come down to Stephenville, Texas, and we'll walk through these coaches and look at them. We're pushing our 80th coach right now, and the next year we'll be pushing our 100th coach. So we're pretty excited about that. So thank you for being a part of Emerald, and thank you for all you do for us. We appreciate you.
Awesome, John. Well, appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
And also appreciate all of you out there subscribing to the channel and liking these videos. We hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.
Thank you.